Thinking about a story that happened probably about 10, 12 years ago. My wife and I were living down in North Miami Beach. We had a car or two, and we used to get them cleaned. Every Saturday, we'd at least have one cleaned. And we had this guy for a few years. He used to come to our home. In our driveway, used to wash the car. Very, very, very nice guy. One particular Saturday, decided to bring his boy with him. The little boy was about somewhere between 5 and 6 years old. He asked if he could let him stay inside and watch cartoons or something like that. My wife offered to bring him in, and she did. She brought him into the kitchen, and she asked him if he had eaten. And all of a sudden, out of his mouth came a language that was English, but she thought it was a 20-year-old she was talking to. She asked him if he'd like something to drink, and he said, Mrs. Sakali, I'd appreciate if you would let me have a glass of orange juice if you have it. And she said, yes, I do. And well, they continued to talk, and as they talked, my wife discovered that this young boy was more than just an average young boy. Having an education that she had in the school system and degrees that she had in education, she knew that this boy, coming sadly from a family that was not in a position to afford some of the finer things in life. Father was a hard-working, good people. Nina said, let me, as she continued talking to him, she said, let me see if I could do something to help this young man. So she continued, she sat down, she made him bacon and eggs, and he ate it, and she had a cup of coffee and sat with him at the table and talked and talked. She realized the boy was very, 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 very bright. So when the father was done washing the car, he came in, naturally looking to get paid and so on and whatever. My wife asked him if he wanted a cup of coffee. She said, I'd like you to sit down for a second. I'd like to talk to you. And he did. And of course, he was paid, but that's not the point. And as my wife talked to him, she said, you know, your son is very bright. He said, I know. She said, has he ever been tested? Has he ever had an IQ test? And he said, no. I didn't think you can give a child that young an IQ test. She said, well, there's different types of IQ tests for different types of levels, and yes, you can. Well, lo and behold, after he left and so on, he brought the child where my wife had recommended him to start. He got him IQ'd. He called back, I guess about a month later, 2 months later, and he said, my son did very, very well. I guess he got 160 some IQ. My wife was not surprised. She was a little bit surprised. She thought maybe 140, 150, but she's not surprised at all. She said, have you ever thought of getting him into a private school? Well, we really can't afford private schools. She said, you know, with his kind of smartness and education, she said, I think I could find ways and individuals I might know that he might be able to get a little scholarship or help in his going to school. Well, she did, and he did. And he went to grade school, middle school, went to a private high school, full ride, went to college, turned out to be Yale University, full ride. Father was completely ecstatic. I was ecstatic. My wife was ecstatic. The child, we did not know at that time, going to school, what he was going to do. We didn't inquire. We just were happy that he got a scholarship to go to school. Again, we weren't surprised. Well, must have been a few years past, and he called, spoke to my wife, and he said, Mr. Cali, he said, I'm taking my law boards. She said, you want to become a lawyer? He said, yes. Lo and behold, he took his law boards, scored, I think, either the highest or second highest ever recorded at that time. He went on and became a lawyer. And I don't know where he is now. We don't know. We moved out of the area. And I'm sure he's doing very, very well, as I hope the whole family is. What I guess I'm trying to say here is that we really don't know what we have. If we surround ourselves with people that are possibly not going anywhere but just content with what they're doing, then that's probably what we're going to end up doing. If we happen to run into people that might be going somewhere and are helpful, in the case of my wife and myself, we helped the young man. The young man, we didn't have to help much more than that. He had the brains and the smarts. And we were very happy to hear what had transpired with him. Again, what I'm trying to say is that any of us out there maybe not do what he particularly did, but you have to have the gumption, you have to have the desire, you have to have the will, and most of all, you have to have the belief in yourself. And I think this young man, once he realized, he didn't realize at the beginning how smart he really was, but as he started to progress, he realized that he was a pretty smart kid. And as he did, he eventually did things that he, at that time, as a young boy, I assume never thought he was capable of doing, and neither did his father. But he did. Believe in yourself. Never stop believing. One door closes, another door opens. When it gets dark at one point, it gets light on the other. I lived my life that way. I will end my life that way. I bring to you these videos and tell you these stories. Each and every one of them are true. I guess I continually say it because a lot of people out there believe that people are just out there telling stories and whatever. The biggest thing is take time with your children. Find out what they're doing. Inquire. Check with teachers. Talk with teachers. Have teachers talk with you. Go to parent conference meetings, teachers meetings. Get involved with the neighborhood. Get involved with your kids' friends. Find out there's a world out there. You not only help yourself. If you're in a position, let's say, where you do have a child like that, you're not in a position, you might find out you don't need to have the money. Your child can help you through with his brain or her brain. Or physical, academic, physical prowess, whether it be football, soccer, baseball, whatever. And if not, they can always work. They can work part-time and go to school part-time. Or go to school full-time and work part-time. They don't have to go to big universities with big names. I went to a good university. My wife went to a decent university. I don't know. It's what you make of it. It's what you do with it. I think I did something with mine. I hope each and every one of you can do something with yours. When you look and you say you can't, try looking at the other side and say, maybe you can. Maybe I can. Make that boy or that girl want to go to school. can't have the money, or they don't have the money, or you don't have the money, let them go to a community college, then on to a 4-year college. Let them work, whatever it is, whether it's in a Publix in Florida, whether it's in a, I don't know, Walgreens or drugstore, whatever, Winn-Dixie, packing bags. Let them know what it is to make $1. Let them know what it is to work hard or to work for a living. Let them know what $1 is so they can appreciate it, put it away, push themselves further to want to make more. I think each and every one of us have this advantage. All we got to do is tap into it. And if we tap into it, I think we will realize that it's there waiting for us. I know we're not lazy, or if we are, we should not be. I know our children are valuable, and I know they believe you're valuable to them. I think in harmony, you could work together to make the best of something that you might not think you could. Keep on believing. Keep on trying. Never stop. Never give up. If you have any questions of what I've said, please write in. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to give advice to you one-on-one. Or if you disagree, I'd love to hear from you. I really would. I don't expect anything from it other than the fact that I can help. And that's what I'm looking at doing with these videos. If I could be a benefit or a help to each and every one of you out there in different areas of my life, taught to me by my father and mother and my grandfather and grandmother, and the lessons learned are lessons I never, ever forget. And they've helped me through life, and hopefully will help me the remainder of my life. I thank you very much for taking the time, and if you do like what I have to say, continue subscribing. I thank you for your time.